Hello and welcome to How to Invest. In today's video, we're going to be giving a quick update on Root Insurance after they reported their full year 2025 earnings. I'm going to be going over some of the changes to the modeling that we've done. And then someone on X was very kindly let us know that the insider ownership is actually above 10%. So just wanted to correct some information on that and talk about my personal conviction in the stock as the price of the stock has continued to go down actually since last time I talked about it. A little bit about me. I am a stock analyst for a holding company with over 10 million of assets under management, as well as my own personal $150,000 portfolio. Just so you guys know, we are not certified financial advisors. This video is not financial advice. All investments carry risk. You are solely responsible for your investments. We encourage everyone to do their own due diligence and research. We have a high risk tolerance and a long investment horizon. This video reflects our opinions only at the time of recording and are for educational and entertainment purposes only. We can see here in the stock price, since I talked about it last, I think it was in the 50s-ish. Since then, it has gone all the way down to 44. And as you remember, as a stock price goes down and the fundamentals don't necessarily change, that actually makes forward returns better if the same assumptions can be put in place. I have changed some of the assumptions for modeling based on revisions in analyst expectations. So we will go over that. But yeah, so we'll come back to here. We'll quickly go over the shareholder letter. So these were the key metrics: continued growing premiums, continued growing revenue, had another profitable quarter here, and a profitable full year. The profitability increase wasn't super dramatic as they continue to focus on reinvesting in growth. And with that focus, I do find it a little bit unreasonable how low the growth expectation is for Root currently from analysts. So I do think there's quite a bit of room for Root to kind of upset the analyst expectations, especially since Root didn't really give revenue guidance. But yes, so here's the metrics. It looks like a really great quarter, a really good year as they continue to focus on growth. It's only a slight increase in net income here from the previous year. That represents about a 30% increase. But you would expect for a growth company like this, as they achieve operational leverage, that net income wouldn't increase in line with revenue. It'd be increasing far faster than that. But again, that reflects them really investing hard into growth. Now, with that in mind, I just want to look at some of the previous year metrics because the fundamentals for this company have been improving quite dramatically. So they had a pretty robust balance sheet back here in 2020. So that was $1 billion of shareholder equity, but they were free cash flow negative. And they've grown revenue. Revenue was kind of shrinking during that period. They had a really rough time during COVID and that kind of time when cars got really expensive and interest rates were rising. It was a very difficult time for them, and they have since switched back to growth. I talked a lot about this in my original deep dive, but the things I really want to point out is the revenue growth percentage change. And at the same time, you're switching to free cash flow positive, and then you have the shareholder equity starting to increase again. So I believe that they are intentionally keeping their net income low. They're adding cash to the balance sheet. So the balance sheet position is improving because they are free cash flow positive, and they're really trying to drive meaningful change to the revenue line, increasing that revenue number. So in this last year, they put up 29% year over year revenue growth. If we switch to quarterly really quick, the Q4 2025 represented 21% year over year revenue growth, and the analyst expectation for full year 2026 revenue growth is about 8%. So you can see this is actually really, really low expectations, especially from this last quarter. And it is partly probably because analysts are trying to sandbag a bit because management didn't really give any guidance in terms of what revenue growth would look like. The guidance they did give was that basically net income and the combined loss ratio were going to be about the same as this year because they were going to be investing all additional free cash flow into growth, all additional cash flow into driving meaningful revenue growth as they see the market having a massive opportunity at the moment. So yeah, I do think this is the right type of management, from right type of focus from management, right? You want to have a management that's focused on the long term. And especially now that I understand better that Alex Tim does, and insiders do actually own more than 10% of the company. We come back here to Alex Tim. He owns around 27% of the Class B shares and around 1% of the Class A shares, which represents around a 20% of the voting power. So he does own a meaningful amount of the company. He is the founder. So this is we love investing in founder-run companies that have those long-term visions, and that is what he's like kind of focusing on. Now, I still don't know if I have the personal conviction in terms of like the long-term story of this company. The main one being, as cars switch more to autonomous vehicles, is there a place for Root to provide insurance for those? Because they really only provide car insurance, and they're really only in the United States. So this AV kind of threat to car insurers doesn't really exist for companies like Lemonade, for example. But you can see even from these, the investment thesis here would be more so about the kind of really low evaluation for Root, and then the really low growth expectations for Root, and what that still looks like if we model it out in terms of returns. So that is still the thesis here. It's not necessarily that I have a huge conviction in the long-term ability of this company to execute. I am more confident in this company now that I know the CEO, Alex Tim, has a major stake in the company of around, somewhere around 20%. And so, that makes me a lot more confident in it. But yeah, let's look at the modeling, and we'll see how even something as worse than the analysts expect here in the bear case, right? So analysts are expecting around 8% for 26 and around 13% for 2027. So in the bear case, we have them at 6% and then 10% on average through 27 through 2030. And then a net income of only 6% in 5 years, which they had been putting up around 4% this last quarter. For full year 25, they had 2.5% net margin. So it'd mean kind of pretty small improvement in the net margin. They could definitely do something much better than this. But, it depends. In 5 years, if they're still really focused on growth, the net margin still may not have meaningfully improved yet as they're continuing to drive revenue. So, if that's the case, and they're succeeding at keeping the net margin low because they're really heavily investing in revenue growth, then the revenue numbers you might expect to be better than what I'm expecting in the bear case, but the net margin to be slightly worse, and then you still have a similar outcome in terms of the return on the stock price. And this is expecting a 23 PE in 5 years. And then in the base case, this is basically in line with what analysts expect, 8% this year, 13% next year, and then 13% on average through 2030. Looking back, unless something meaningfully changes, like when there was COVID and all of that kind of difficulty for Root, I believe this is the year-over-year revenue change. Yeah, it was negative back here. Okay, I switched to quarterly. Okay, yeah. So I was confusing myself because I was thinking it was this chart here. Yeah, because they did have some negative growth. So if something meaningfully happened as a headwind to Root and you had some quarters of negative growth, which is definitely possible, but despite maybe global pandemics and high interest rates, higher hikes, and we saw the fastest hike in interest rates in history. So bar a global pandemic and a once in a lifetime event in terms of interest rates, it seems like this company has had a pretty good track record of being able to drive meaningful growth. So I don't expect them to potentially, there's always the possibility of a black swan event, right? We experienced that with Oddity, for example. So, I'm still trying to build a long-term conviction in this company, but I think the thesis in terms of a re-rating in the stock price to reflect the fact that this is a growing company and has incredibly low loss ratios is definitely a solid thesis in my opinion. Whether or not I'm going to pull the trigger on that kind of thesis, I'm still not sure yet. But yeah, with even these kind of really low growth expectations, and then a 8% net margin in 5 years and a PE of 30. So with those types of assumptions, keep those in mind, Root is still a 9.3x. So that is lower than last time we talked about Root because those expectations of growth have been decreased. But now that they've been decreased, they're even more conservative. The stock still poses a really, really good return potential. And even in the bear case 5-year, we have Root here with still a 4.7, basically a 5x in the stock price. So, 5x from around 50, you're talking about a $250 stock price, even in a bear case where they do worse than analyst expectations. And that would be a massive deceleration in revenue growth from 20% this last quarter to full year just growing 6% revenue when they're not focusing on profitability. They're not focusing on anything but keeping their, gross loss ratio between 60 and 65% and, pretty much investing everything else in growing revenue. So yeah, I still am building my conviction in the company, but the thesis in terms of just the stock is so undervalued is really solid in my opinion. So that's my little update on Root after Q4 and full year 2025 reporting. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you were entertained, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.